another top 10 list. This week we are doing top 10 characters that we would add to the Fantastic Four. Now, this does not mean that it would make them the Fantastic Five. It means whatever character we're adding is taking the place of another character on there. So we're each going to go through, starting from 10, counting up to 1 for each of our individual picks, and we'll say who the character is and what character they're going to be replacing. And then, we'll give our reasons why. As always, we got we got Sal, the slab guy, up here.
How you doing?
The Minister of Sinister, Chris, here. We have very special guest Liz from Loco Sirens, who
Yes,
is very gracious to join us tonight because Gary is taking the night off. He's sitting by the phone. The NFL. Yep, there you go. Thank you, Sal. So the NFL draft, the first round of it is tonight. So Gary is sitting at home, sitting by the phone with all of his family and some of his closest friends, not including us, waiting to get that call from Washington that they're going to use their first round pick on him. So good luck, Gary.
Little known fact, Gary knits while he watches.
Nice.
Yes, he does.
Nice.
Hey,
I cross stitch.
What's up, Richard?
Hey, Richard.
Richard.
It as I've gotten older, my fingers don't like doing it as much, but that's how I used to watch TV, just to have my hands doing something, cross stitching. So instead of knitting, but
okay.
So I'm not a replacement for Gary. I do need to say that I kind of been upfront with all the guys, so I'm going to be upfront with the audience. I know very little about the Fantastic Four, so this was a really interesting and challenging experiment for me. But I learned some stuff doing it. So I hope my list is satisfactory.
Liz, the real question is, how many push-ups can you do? Because that's what Gary does.
Okay, yeah. So I'm definitely not Gary, and I can do a modified sit-up. I can do
push up.
5 at my physical because last year I had a great doctor and they bring in this physical test lady and they made me do all this stuff like, can you cross your legs and go down to the floor and get back up without touching your body or the ground, and push-ups and sit-ups and standing on one leg and all that kind of stuff. And but the last 2 out of that 5 were shaky. And my knees were definitely on the ground.
Watch out, Gary. She's coming for your title.
Yeah.
My doctor
I can only hold a good a good solid plank for about 30 seconds. So
when I was at the VA, I did doctor, because I had to do my yearly physical, wanted me to do a push-up, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. You're not in the Army anymore. No.
Give me how many? Give you how many?
That's why back in the day, me and my buddy were thinking about it and didn't join the Army. I was like, they're going to make you do all these push-ups and stuff, and I don't have the temperament. I was like, I don't have the temperament for that, because as soon as they're saying, give me 50, I'll be like, fuck you, man. Doing 50 push-ups doesn't make me bulletproof. Give me a tank.
Yeah, but I know I got to say, I had a really dear friend. I have a really dear friend from high school who went in and hated boot camp, but ended up driving a tank for 5 years. He was in, and he was in, Armored One, and loved his job.
Okay.
So he loved driving a tank.
Armored guys.
So,
I love the comment from Richard, though. That's great.
Yeah. Oh, I got to show you guys later. I got to show you the video of my hidden office at work.
Anyway, hidden office?
Yes, I have a secret, a bat cave, if you will.
Is it like George Costanza's? Is it under the desk and you've got
God, that was
little arm down
that
there?
was a great episode, wasn't it?
What was
that? Good night, Richard. Man. Yeah,
Richard.
Make sure when you do your rewatch, when you watch it later, that you drop in the comments what characters you would add. So as I said, here's the thing: we're not adding characters to the Fantastic Four to make them the Fantastic Five. We're going to be pulling a character off and adding a character in their place, or maybe 2, or maybe 3, or maybe all 4. So
see, I didn't know I could do that. Like I literally just came up with 10 people that I thought would, but I misunderstood the assignment. So
That's all right.
you know,
That's all right.
I
Whatever we
didn't
got is
realize
good.
we were
You can
replacing.
modify it
I
on the
didn't
fly.
think we were adding
We'll fix it
somebody.
in post.
Yeah.
So for each pick, everyone is going to say this is the character. They're going to say which character they would replace on the team, and then say why they're putting them on the team.
Why?
After seeing everybody's list, there are a lot of unique characters for each of us, but there are characters that will be shown multiple times, and we could pick characters from any comic universe. So I counted up everybody's picks and not counting characters twice. Like if there was a character on my list and Liz's list, I only counted them once for this. So for this list, making it, we had 16 Marvel characters, 17 DC characters, and 3 characters that are not from Marvel or DC at all. And there are 5 characters that have been former members of the Fantastic Four. And that's okay, as long as it's not part of the core 4, as long as they could be anyone else, then they could make it. So, and then at the end of this,
one of mine was.
And then at the end of this too, I am going to share with everyone how many times each character got replaced. Reed, Sue, Ben, Johnny.
Whoa, okay.
I'm going to keep track of it, so we'll see which character was dropped off the team the most. Harpo Marx.
Harpo Marx.
I'm going to guess you would take Johnny's place.
Johnny's place, yeah.
All right. So, since Liz is our very special guest, and we at the Codex Station like to pretend that we're gentlemen, ladies first, we're going to start with Liz's.
Hold on, Dan. Dan, do we going to kick off an intro thing, like just a regular intro thing?
Oh yeah, we do. Are we in pre-show? Or are we going fully live? What are we doing?
I did not create a video intro for this, so just use the regular one.
All right, that's why I wasn't going to do it. But, all right, here we go.
Gives me chills every time I see it.
All right, so here we are with the Codex top 10 list for top 10 characters we would add to the Fantastic Four. So, since that was, I guess, the pre-show before, I'll go over it all again. All of us are going to give our picks for who we would add to the team. We're not adding it to make them the Fantastic Five. So each character we add is going to be taking the place of another character. So each of them we will say, this is our character, this is whose place they're taking, and this is why we're putting them on the team. And again, there are characters that are, they could be from Marvel, they could be from DC, they could be from any other universe. So, since ladies first, since we like to have the illusion that we are gentlemen, we will start with our special guest, Liz, and her number 10 pick, which is
Aquaman.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
He will replace Sue Storm because he is now Emperor Aquaman, controlling the blue, which is all water in every universe. So basically, anything Sue can do, he can now do with water. All of those, he can't make himself invisible, but all of the shields and things that she uses to protect the team and such, he can do now with water, because he had, even before the DCKO, he had gotten Mira's hydrokinesis power. So he now has that like on mega steroids, basically. Okay. And I think he would be a absolute wonderful fit, even though that would make it all guys. Right. I think his personality and such would work really well with Johnny and Ben and Reed.
Yeah, he absolutely needs to take Sue's place. We all saw what happened when she was around an Emperor of Atlantis before. And she would just end up cheating on Reed. So
yes, absolutely. Well, I don't know. Mira might have something to say about that now, but
he's not as ill-tempered as Namor is.
No, he isn't.
Exactly. So yeah, I
Well,
thought
Nick was grumpy
he-
because he
I
got
thought he
that
was a
flat head
good-
in 20 years.
and you know it
Oh,
was
what's up, Mike?
Hi.
Would be bouncing.
Hi.
I was tickled because
Bouncing
I
boy.
did my list and then went looking at for images only to find all of these Super Team Family comics that almost my whole list appeared in. So
That's
I was
all
like,
right.
well, this is kind of cool for the, for the podcast pictures. But yeah,
Right.
I was really kind of tickled that not knowing that because I don't read the Fantastic Four. Oops. That I picked all these people that actually had, been part of the team or had worked with them before for other things at crossovers and stuff. So yeah, I thought he would replace Sue and make a really great addition to the Fantastic Four. They'd still be the Fantastic Four. They'd just have water, kinesis, and fire, right?
And he's already worn a blue costume before, so
Right, exactly.
There you go.
nice way to start it off. We're gonna
Exactly.
go to the Minister of Sinister next for his number 10 pick, which I'm going to refer to as the Uncle Gary special.
This,
Uh-oh.
there we go.
See,
my
now
team.
I'm supposed to say something. Gary gave me a message that I was
I know Gary. I know
We
Gary
can
gave
put
you
that
a
on
message
there.
list.
and I can't, it's not suitable for work. But I
know
really,
Gary told me what the message
it's
was.
awful. Come on.
It's beautiful. Look at that team, that lineup there. Get Doiby Dickles.
Who's the guy with
Boy,
the
be
pen?
Dickles.
You
And
got
You
you,
guys, but I don't know who any of these people are. So
you got Robbie Reed. You got Woozy Winks and Percival Pop, the super cop, hiding behind Woozy's big ass. I think that
okay.
this
And
is
Gary
the
is
perfect
just
lineup.
cursing away.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is.
I did this in honor of Gary not being here.
Okay. And knowing that I probably would have no clue who most
I'm
of these
kidding.
people are.
I mean, I'd have done this whether Gary was here or not. I had to do it. But
Well, I
Yeah,
commend you on your
I like the
graphic
little
skills there.
4 on the
Thank
guy
you.
with the bowler hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Doiby.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Doiby Dickles, my hero.
Okay, so that is Toby Dickles. Okay. Now
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
can actually see why Gary doesn't like him.
His name is
He's
actually
really-
Derby.
He's totally 30s.
He's awesome.
He's
Look at that wrench. Do you know how much injustice he has stopped with that
With
wrench
that-
alone?
Okay. I don't know. I live with 2 men that use a wrench for a living.
He
He
has
could do some
saved
damage.
Alan Scott's life so much.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into one.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I have a feeling that that Fantastic Four series from Chris would not be lasting very long.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know
that's
how
all
many
it needs.
copies
One
it would
episode.
sell.
One episode.
Yeah, I just don't know how many issues they would be able to get away with.
All right, and I'm presuming they're going to replace the entire team there.
No, that's
They
just
were
for
full of
Johnny.
them there.
Oh, just for Johnny.
Just for Johnny.
I mean, look at those 4 guys. They couldn't replace the entire FF.
They might be able to replace Johnny though. You kind of have a small point there.
They got matches.
I do have a feeling that Doiby and Ben would get along.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably.
All right,
Actually,
well,
Ben might fastball special Doiby.
all right, we're going to go with my number 10 pick, and the only reason this character is my number 10 pick instead of higher is because she has been a part of the team before. The one character on my list that has been part of the team before, and that's She-Hulk.
10
She's your favorite, too,
that
isn't she?
low on your list.
I do that.
man?
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
thought she'd be your number 1.
Like I said, she's only number 10 on my list because she's actually been part of the
Oh, on
team
the
and been part of the
Okay,
team for a
fair.
long time. Everyone else
Fair.
on my list has never been part of the team. So,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a
Okay.
big-
Fair. That's a great image of her.
yeah. So I'm a big She-Hulk fan. She's my favorite female comic character. She's already been on the team. She had a great dynamic on there. as would be obvious, she would be replacing Ben again. And it's go read the books when she was on the team, and that'll tell you why she's my number 10 pick to be on there.
You know what I like about her is that she's one of those unfortunately generic characters that they just cut off of a male character, which they always do. Supergirl, Batwoman, but she shines on her own, which I really like about that character. And she was one of the first characters to break the fourth wall. So
she's very
she was doing it long before Deadpool.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they only created her because they were afraid that the TV network with the Hulk TV show was being so popular. They heard they were going to do a female spinoff, so Marvel created the character first, so they would have the rights to it. Because if the TV created them,
if I remember correctly, because I was a child when this was happening, and I was actually reading, because I was a huge Incredible Hulk fan when the TV show was on, and I remember when they came out with that first comic, and that's why she broke the fourth wall, was to make a comment about how I'm here because I can't be on TV. Kind of like that kind of tongue in cheek. I don't have like her first appearance or anything like that. But I do remember that comic coming out and reading it back then and thinking that was so cool that she was talking directly to us, because that wasn't really done before in comics.
All right, so for our final number 10 pick, we're going to go with Sal and his number 10, which is...
Boom.
Yeah.
I went with the Atom. And
okay.
This is probably an obvious replacement for Reed, because if you think about it, scientific genius. And I lean towards him just because he's the type of guy, he's not the traditional superhero. He wants to be in the lab. He wants to be experimenting. He wants to be, working science shit and stuff like that. So that's why I have him on there as at number 10 and replacing Reed.
A great companion for Reed in the lab.
Yeah, definitely. And my list, not just, what's that?
You could really tell a story with him too. It's just, dimension hopping.
Yep.
And ending up on the FF.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, yes, I know. And I should have had some more Green Lanterns in mind, but alas.
That's good stuff there, man.
Yeah. So my list primarily just because I have him at number 10 doesn't mean he's the least favorite. I liked all of these guys, all of my characters I picked. So it doesn't mean that number 10 is my least favorite or my last one.
Can I ask you guys a question before we go on to 9? Is that hard for you? Like when I make my lists, because even when I'm participating as an audience member and I know it's coming, I sit down and I just think of 10 names, right? And then after I have the names, I'll rank them between the 1 through 10, right? And that is where and sometimes I'll change out a name, right? Like as I'm ranking it, wait, no, I don't really like this because I'm thinking of this other person and I'm going to insert them instead. So do you guys kind of do it the same way, or do you, when you actually are like, conceptualizing the list in your head, do you have your ranking already in order?
For me, I come up with the list and I was just adding characters to the list as I was going and not paying attention to order, just thinking like, oh, this would be a cool character to take this character's place.
Yeah.
And thinking for not just power set, but, personality, team dynamics, how they would fit in. And I was just making my list. And then when I got it, I'm like, all right, there's more than 10.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to go like, well, I guess I could cut this character out. I guess I could cut this one out. One of my picks I thought would be cool to have Dr. Doom take Reed's place, but he ended up being cut. And then when I had my final 10, then it was, okay, now I actually have to put them in order.
Okay, cool.
And that's kind of how I did it as well. Except for, of course.
Nice, Smoothie.
That fake team.
Right.
That was absolutely always going to be at number 10. But the other ones, I also wanted to make sure that I didn't include because I find I get repetitive on the characters I use because I like those characters.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
So I had
of
to
that.
pull away from that on this one and make sure
Okay.
that I included characters that I hadn't included before.
Yeah, there are there are a couple of characters that I hadn't really included in lists before on this one, but for the most part, I'm still in that just barely leaving my comfort zone. You know, as my comic library and knowledge expands too, because I am pretty new. You know, I really am outside of Catwoman and a handful of, small, Batman titles. I wasn't seriously collecting until 3 years ago. So, yeah. So for me, it's all still relatively, new knowledge and stuff. So, and Sal, your process?
My process is different for this list. Usually, when we're going through a top 10, it's usually my favorite number one, and number just progressively ranked down. But for like this one, I just could not pick a higher ranking. Other than any one of my characters could be at any of the spots. It's just in the thought method that I thought, oh my god, I forgot about that character. Who can I replace on my list now with this character? Because my list was about 20 characters long, and I was like, all right, I can bump you because I actually like Adam better than you. So you're on the B team.
Right.
Like I said, from my list, it was thinking a lot about, all right, power set for that, but more of, how does it affect the team dynamic? Like, oh, how is this character going to interact with this one, or what new aspect are they going to bring to the team that's normally the sci-fi, adventurer kind of stuff.
And that's Gary going in with the draft.
Yeah. All right. So, Liz, for your number 10 pick, we have
9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Yes, Rogue.
There she is.
And
there you go.
I have her replacing
That's Gary calling.
No, it's.
And because I think Sue needs some female companionship occasionally. While she can't necessarily do the things that Johnny does with her power, she could, because she could just take it from Johnny technically. But she has her own unique, she brings her own unique set of skills that I think that the team could benefit from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true, Smokey.
Yeah, that's
very
true. True. Yeah. That's very true.
Michael Phelps.
Oh, that's hilarious, Mr. Keith.
Good one. Good one.
Anyway, that's why I picked her.
Okay.
Again, I did not realize that she had been, had worked with the team before, which apparently she did. But I'm okay with that. She hasn't
been part of the team. She just had a team.
Yeah, she just helped him out. Exactly. She wasn't part of the team. She was just, part of the Avengers or the X-Men. You know what I mean? She was either part of the Uncanny X-Men or the Avengers that were doing something with the Fantastic Four. So either way, I thought she'd make a good replacement for Johnny.
Nice.
Good.
All right. Now, Chris, for your number 9 pick.
I chose Jade.
Nice.
To replace Sue. It's a bubbler power set, similar to Jean's, only she can't turn invisible.
Right.
To Sue's, only she can't turn invisible. I like her energy. She's a solid character, a team player.
She and Johnny's
and I think she and Johnny
would be hilarious.
Oh yeah, she would just she would eat Johnny's lunch is what she would do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she'd eat him for lunch and spit him back out again with a smile.
With a smile.
Yeah. It'd be cool to team her up with She-Hulk as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if she were on the team at the same time, that'd be cool.
We're going to go now with my number 9 pick, which is the first character for any of us that's going to be shown that is not a Marvel or DC character. And taking the place of Reed Richards would be Rick Sanchez.
Oh, hells yeah.
I forgot about him. I didn't think about him at all. Wow.
Who is
Imagine
he
the
Rick and Morty.
absolute chaos and hilarity of having him take the place of Reed Richards.
from? That
Super
would be
Giants
pretty funny.
How
How
did
wise
Doom kill himself?
all the cyborg shit that he's got going on in there. Imagine Rick Sanchez fighting Dr. Doom. How much Doom would be frustrated at him.
Oh,
You
he'd be
son of a
so on
bitch,
edge.
I'm in.
Mm.
Or Rick Sanchez leading the Fantastic Four against Galactus.
Yeah.
That'd be good stuff there.
Yeah.
I like the gun.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So, and this shows, hey, Chris isn't the only one with a sense of humor.
Exactly.
I love Rick Sanchez. I think he's a fantastic character.
And Dan, before you pull my number 9 or my next pick up,
Yeah.
throw up that comment one more time from Smoothie. Yeah.
This one.
Yes. So let's throw up my pick then for the next.
Let
All
me
right.
guess.
So for Sal's number 9 pick, we have not Big Barda.
Oh, I thought
No,
I had my list wrong. Shoot. Yep.
Is
Well,
that,
I'm glad
is
we
that,
brought the comment back up. But what does that?
Well, it'll make sense next round. How's that sound?
Okay.
Sorry.
I love to
Okay.
do
So I actually have I reversed I numbered them wrong, but yeah, I have Medusa in here because she's replacing Stu. I believe, but she's got that leadership presence that I think Stu also has, and the fact that she's representing an entire different race, the humans, it gives her that royalty aspect, and it's really good for like politically charged stories, I think. So, because I think the Fantastic Four, not only did they do cosmic threats, but they handle political stuff as well. I think in their in their some of their stories, and this kind of just fits in with she just is a good fit, I think. So that's my number 9.
And she's been part of the team before.
She has been
Has
part of
she
the team
really?
before. Yep. Yes, she
Okay,
has.
I did not know that. I did not
Yes.
know that.
It was
She's
a recent.
I
fantastic.
love her character. When my hair was down calf, mid calf, I wanted to cosplay her, but sadly my hair didn't come to life to take people, and help me out in that regard. It
And
also is no
her
longer
It was a good
red.
attempt.
Can
So
we be
Her
honest?
Highnessness will rub Ben the wrong way. I think.
Say, can we be
I
honest?
think
That
we'll have some static there. That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
she has the stupidest power.
Because she's snooty.
Stupidest power.
You know
It
what?
is, but
I don't know.
Well,
in
I
the
can make
TV
my hair
show,
big and make it do stuff like.
yeah, but I mean, if you need to hold a bunch of people off, and your hair is super long, and okay, I'm gonna hold this guy up against this wall and this guy up against this wall, so my husband doesn't open his mouth and blow all of our eardrums.
Now, I would like to see
Awesome.
her on the team that Rick Sanchez is leading, and just all the comments he would have about her.
Mm,
Well, what's great about her hair is she doesn't need hairspray.
Yeah.
true. I actually like the way they portrayed her on the Inhumans TV show.
That's how you can beat her is with some super stiff hairs.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
just shave her head. Just shave her head.
Yeah, just give her that just give her that hair gel that Cameron Diaz had in Something About Mary.
Oh,
That
yeah.
very
Moving
special
on.
brand
Moving on.
of hair gel.
Yeah, her number one enemy is Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Arch nemesis. Arch nemesis.
All right, so on.
All right, are
on
we at
to
8
number
now? All
Yes.
right,
Number
my
four on the-
8
for Liz.
is Power Girl.
There
And
you go.
she's replacing Ben Grimm.
That's fair. That's fair.
And again, this is one of the ones that I saw this cover and I was like, oh, wow. She's actually done something with them before.
That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Well, anyway, I think that, she would definitely keep Johnny distracted. and because he'd be staring at her cleavage constantly. He'd also be cracking jokes, but she's totally, the strength. So
yeah,
not necessarily brains. Not that she's dumb, because she's not dumb.
No.
But yeah. So I think that the dynamic between her and Johnny would be amusing.
Yeah.
I think that they wouldn't miss Ben with her.
Blondie.
Come on. What's up?
The singer or the one from Blondie and Dagwood?
That's what I was thinking. Dagwood
would be number 7.
Yeah,
Dagwood,
only if Dagwood comes with her. Yeah, I really love this cover, though. I have to say, I the way that
that's a great cover.
That Reed is all like stretchy, and Sue is like, you can tell she's getting ready to cast some type of field, and Johnny actually looks like he wants to just leap right on top of Power Girl.
Again.
It really does.
Again. Yeah. He does it all the time. They have to they hit him with a spray bottle.
Yeah.
Like the cat.
Yeah. So
the nice thing about her being on the team.
That's a good replacement too, Smoothie. Anyway, I really love this cover. So but yeah, I thought she'd make and her strength would complement the team very well. I think her dynamic, again, 2 blondes do make a right.
Mr. Keith
she'd be a good companion for Sue as well.
Mr. Keith is saying he meant he was going with Debbie Harry.
Oh, the singer Blondie. I would be
also a good choice.
He could probably kick some rear end, especially
also a good choice.
And with her on the team, she can finally cover up that pesky boob window with the number 4.
No.
I don't know. Johnny probably figure out a way for her to wear it lower.
Probably.
Yeah. Johnny's like, here, just wear it on your belt.
Yeah, here. It looks better on the stomach.
I got you a pin.
Don't worry, it's tiny. Don't worry. Just put it over there to the side.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to go with Chris's number 8 pick, which is...
Ooh,
yeah.
That is a great image.
That's a giant size.
Who drew that? Do you know?
I did. No, I haven't.
That is an amazing Swamp Thing.
I don't know, but I really like it. And I just, the thing's hard enough to keep under control because he's stubborn. This guy.
This guy.
There's no keeping this guy. This guy's just going to be a mess on the team. Mm-hmm. The good thing is he will always provide them with salads.
Yeah.
True.
He won't provide them with stimulating conversation.
No. He's not the deep thinker type,
No. But if you're scared, he'll burn you.
Yep.
Kind of a dick move, I think.
Who burns them worse, him or Johnny?
You're scared, but I won't comfort you. I'll just burn you with my acid hands.
All right, so
I never understood that character.
Never understood him?
No, I just he's always burning shit that feels fear.
That's true, Smoothie. That would be great.
Yes, totally true.
I think Ben and Guy would get along pretty well.
I think they might get along
after a big knockdown fight first.
Oh,
yeah,
there'd be a brouhaha.
Exactly,
but yeah,
exactly.
I think they'd get on each other's nerves until they got into a big fight, into a big battle for the first time.
Yeah,
right.
And then it'd be like, okay, we're gonna be good.
Okay, we're good.
All right, so on to me for my number 8 pick, and this is taking the place of 2 characters. So I will be replacing the husband and wife duo of Reed and Sue with the husband and wife duo of Hawkman and Hawkwoman.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice pick.
That's good.
There we go.
So we'll take off the one married couple, we'll add another married couple, whereas Reed and Sue too, to give her props, that she is also a scientist, which gets overlooked a lot, but to replace the 2 science-based characters with 2 characters that are much more based in mythology, and where they kind of function more as archaeologists than scientists, I think would be an interesting power dynamic.
Agreed.
Yep. Good
Yeah,
pick.
and
But
the
yet they
stories
also have centuries of memories from their Egyptian god
yeah, and their stories
mind,
would take on a
what
more
is souls or
supernatural
whatever
bent.
it is that's kind of like within them.
Yeah, and you know what? They could always, if Kang shows up and like, I remember you from back in the day in Egypt. We kicked your ass then, and we'll kick
Yep,
your ass now.
Back
exactly.
when you
Yeah,
were Ramatut.
yeah, yeah.
All right, so we are now on to Sal's number 8 pick. Should I put that comment up again?
Yeah, please, because that would make more sense
Because now
then.
it's going to make more sense, right?
Yes.
Wait a minute, I got to scroll back up and find that comment again.
Oh, well, it's all right. You don't have to.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Big Barter's replacement for Ben Grimm. Well, irony is very ironic
There
because
she is.
So, yep, Howard, just a straight up replacement for Ben.
Yeah.
She's a powerhouse,
But she also
She's-
would give Sue some feminine energy companionship too.
She's one of my favorite characters.
Right.
Her relationship with Cassandra Cain in Birds of Prey, little bird or little bat,
Yeah.
it was so big sister, little sister.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to see that kind of softer side of Barda, the protective side.
Right.
But she's still, she could kick your ass into the next
a lot of people's ass. So
awesome.
One of the reasons I chose her was for that protective almost instinct, because I think Ben Grimm has that as well.
I
that
agree.
Type of instinct. So,
and that if it were a shared universe, that Reed would have had his fair share of run-ins at this point with the New Gods.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and Darkseid. So,
absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So now we are on to number 7. So going up to Liz for your number 7 pick.
My number 7 pick is Sarah Pizzini, Witchblade.
Oh, Witchblade. Okay.
She would be replacing Johnny, because anything Johnny brings, the Witchblade brings better.
Okay.
I found it very interesting that they did a 2-issue crossover in 1999, Fantastic Four 606 and Witchblade number 156. And this is one of the images from 156. And it's very hard to tell, but the guy with the glasses over her shoulder, that's Ben Grimm. And the one, and she's kind of sort of turning into him,
Vern.
Burn.
Moral. Interesting. Anyway, she was my one outside of DC and Marvel that I thought would make a really great addition. And I picked her without realizing that she had ever done a crossover with them. But I think that she would again bring some companionship to Sue and some additional feminine energy. Her skills as a New York detective would be invaluable to Reed and the team in some of the missions that they go on. And the Witchblade kicks ass and takes names. So she's kind of like it's all wrapped up in one package.
All that and bag of chips.
Very interesting. Found her to be a fascinating character. Just her look. I don't know much about the character itself.
She's amazing.
But I've always found her look to be. Was that a Michael Turner?
Yes. When it started out, it was a Mark
Silvestri
Michael Turner.
Okay.
And David Wall, WOHL, did a lot of the writing.
Okay.
And then Turner and Mark Silvestri did a lot of the art in those first early issues. And it's one of the very few of Top Cows. Then when Image eventually swallowed all of Top Cow, it's one of the few continuous titles that they've, renumbered it a couple of times, but it has been in publication with new issues pretty
That's
much
cool.
consistently. Now it's for the last 2 years, it's got a new writer, female Marguerite Bennett, and she kept the origin story the same, put a couple of little new twists on it, but ever since that origin story arc ended, she's taken it in a completely different direction than the old 90s version, and it's a wonderful story. It's really
Awesome.
good. It's just she's still, very much nitty gritty fighting organized crime on the streets of New York, which I love. That kind of story. And,
I like street level. I like street level heroes.
Yeah, I really love street level stuff. So
that's cool.
yeah, and
I love stuff like
the
that.
art is still really good. I forget the name of the new artist is escaping me. But Silvestri's had some work on it, and he redid The Darkness just last year. So I'm really hoping for a new Witchblade Darkness crossover soon. So
Nice.
But I do think she'd make a really good she'd blow doors off of anything that Johnny brings to the table.
Nice pick. Very interesting pick. Yeah, Brainiac as a villain would be interesting for the Fantastic Four.
I almost put Brainiac on my list to replace Reed. That's what we were talking about at dinner tonight, that I should have put him on my list to replace Reed.
When they did that Fantastic Four Superman crossover, wasn't Brainiac the villain of that?
I think he was.
I have it back here somewhere. I'll have to check in a second. But first, we are going to go to Chris's number 7 pick, which is not self-serving at all.
Not at all. My character, Blue Blazes.
Oh, nice.
I don't think I've ever heard of this guy. Blue Blazes?
He's in Chris's comic, right, Chris?
No, he's in my novels. He's dead.
Oh,
They killed him off in the last book.
Oh,
Very, very similar. Young guy.
that's right. He is
headstrong like Johnny. Only he has both. He's a thermal controller. He has both heat and cold powers.
Ooh, see, that gives him an edge over Johnny.
Yeah, so he has a fire armor over his ice armor. I mean, he's a fun character. He's a little zany, like most of my characters, but I just think he would be a fun replacement. And he's blue.
And he's blue.
Yeah, I just looked at. I just pulled out the and I was wrong. It's not. It's not
Brainiac.
It's not Brainiac. That's the villain of it. It's Galactus.
Yeah, the big G.
That's
I have that.
Better.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
That's a great book.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, so we're on to my number 7 pick, right? And my number 7 pick would be replacing Reed, and that would be the Blue Marvel.
I love the Blue Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
this guy is a powerhouse among powerhouses.
He changed the game for them.
And
yeah, he ranks right up there with Sentry as far as power levels go. Mm-hmm. And as far as brains, he's super smart. He's a professor. He's got multiple degrees in science. And I think he would be, if you've read his book, Adam, The Legend of Blue Marvel, which is fantastic, you could tell that he would bring a much different perspective to the team than they've had. So they get even more powerful. They still get the super science guy. They still get the good leader and a whole new perspective for the team.
Okay. Yeah. Love that. I love that costume.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The lines on it are really cool.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
They should do a Fantastic Four Green Lantern crossover.
That would be awesome.
I would read the hell out of that.
All right, so we are going to Sal's number 7 pick, who is we have another former member of the
It's an empty paper cup.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Christmas.
Yep. Also replacing
Sweet Christmas.
That's Luke Cage, right?
Yes,
What's that?
It is.
That's Luke Cage. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And I think bringing that we were talking about street level heroes.
Oh yeah.
I think bringing that to the cosmic scale, I think would be pretty
yes.
And speaking of new perspectives, absolutely.
Yeah, he would definitely bring a very new perspective to the team. One that they think that they're lacking right now.
Has he been on the team before?
Yes.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. So yeah, I think it would also bring not only bringing him to the cosmic level, which would be pretty cool, but I think grounding the other three, back home. So I think that would be also a good story or a good reversal for things as well.
And you said he's taking Ben's place, right?
That is correct.
All right.
I love that costume. I wish they'd bring it back.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's so 70s.
I love it.
It is.
What's wrong with the 70s? The 70s is awesome.
I love the circlet.
Oh yeah, the big tiara. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, tiara sits on top of the head, Chris.
Yeah.
You
circlet
should know that, Chris. You have 5
the brow.
Well, the ones that I have, I call tiaras.
Oh.
You don't want to know where he puts them.
Yeah, you don't
want to know.
You don't.
All right, so we are on to our number 6.
I put them on, and I have a little fairy wand, and then I tiptoe around the house.
There you go.
Trying to turn stuff into other stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. So my
glitter all over them.
is Black Canary.
There we go.
And she is replacing Johnny again. Because one, I think I'm going to say the same thing I said with Power Girl. 2 blondes make a right. And I think that she would bring some really interesting energy. Again, if you want to talk about street level, she brings it all. She brings the history because, her mom was Justice Society.
Yep.
And she brings a pretty incredible sonic power.
Oh, yeah.
She's arguably the best hand-to-hand fighter in the DC universe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And she has that street level knowledge that a lot of members of the Justice League don't.
Boosh, welcome home, Boosh.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh, now let's
so, and I'm gonna say it. I really think Johnny's the most disposable of the team. That's just my personal opinion, and that is, of course, somebody who has not read a whole lot. I mean,
all you need is a lighter, and
I know my dad brought home a Fantastic Four comic now and then. I watched the cartoon in the 70s. I love most of the movies, so it's not like I'm not aware of the team and some of their missions and things like that. But yeah, I really do think that he's the most disposable.
A lighter and some gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I do think that Dino brings a lot to the table.
Orson Welles.
That's not bad, Mr. Keith. Orson can scare some people.
Yep, any universe.
Yep.
You missed it, Boosh. My number 9 pick was Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and my last number 7 was Witchblade.
Show Boosh to number 10.
Image.
This was
and I wish I had realized that we could go outside of the comics completely, because I can think of a couple of characters from other books that I've read or cartoons that I could have put in this list that would have been good picks. But anyway, that's I think Sue, and I think her dynamic, I think she brings a lot to the table. And I think that she would work really well with Reed and Ben and Sue.
Nice.
Yep.
I agree.
She's the reason Ollie's deaf. He stepped on her toe once. She screamed right in his ear.
Oh.
It was an accident.
I have to say, I don't know how there were probably this is number 10, 20, right? There must have been a lot of these super team families. Yeah, I wish I had known. This must be to have.
The actual Super Team Family series was only maybe, I think, 20 issues long.
Okay, so these
Maybe
are all
15.
fan art then.
Oh yeah, none of these are real that you've
Oh
shown
my
me.
gosh, really? I
Yeah,
thought they
these
were
are imaginary
all
covers
real.
that
Oh,
somebody did.
well, now I feel really stupid. But okay, well, that explains that. Now I'm really glad though that the Super Team Family isn't like 1,000 issues long. I was like,
No.
wow, I wonder if Gary has all of those.
No, these are just fan made covers, kind of like, hey, this would be a cool crossover.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Right, Boo.
interesting to know. Learn
All right,
something
Boo,
new
since you-
every day, right? Anyway, okay, so ready, moving on. Chris's turn.
Well, since, Boo's just joins. This is Chris's number 10 pick.
Yeah.
The book,
Yeah,
the book
Super
that would
Team
be canceled
Family had-
before the first issue. Before the first issue even came out, it would be canceled.
It would be.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
As soon as the editors got a hold of it, no, we can't.
As soon as I saw the first page, be like, "This is canceled. Fire everyone involved."
Yeah.
We'll
Super
never
Team
work
Family
again.
had
Yeah.
15 issues. 15 total issues.
Now, what if you had the cast of Seinfeld as the new Fantastic Four?
Oh God.
Oh, that would be something. I don't
That'd
think
be
it
excellent.
could. I would not want the world to rely on that team for get anything accomplished except maybe a discussion about accomplishing something.
I mean, the entire series wrapped up on a premise that they wouldn't help someone in need. So there's no way they're going to be heroes.
No, at all.
They're just going to use their powers to help them.
What's
Okay.
the deal with that mess? All right.
What's that?
So what Chris's number 6 pick is?
Everyone's on a
The
redemption
entire
arc.
team.
Ooh.
The UFOs. Vector, Vapor, X-Ray, and Ironclad.
Wow. I
underused-
love the Hulk.
Yeah,
Reflected-
underused Hulk villains
Wow.
that I think are pretty cool,
Mhm.
and it'd just be neat to see them in a few issues of maybe like a
Where they
Thunderbolt
had to get
style
together
FF.
and do something that they wouldn't normally do. That'd be kind of funny.
And they were kind of pastiches of the Fantastic Four to begin with.
And they were, yes,
Yeah.
they were. And
Okay.
it would be. I just think it would be pretty cool, just to see them, like I said, do a Thunderbolt style thing where they're pretending to be heroes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
FF got swept away into the negative zone, and now these guys are going to try to take over and help them out.
Nice.
That'd make a great story.
All right. So for my number 6 pick, it's a character we've already seen, but I'm going to throw her up again. Power
Oh, there
Girl.
she is. That 4 would not fit in there.
It can go on the shoulder or on the belt buckle.
No, she'd have to wear that. She'd have to wear that on her belly.
Yeah.
Or in the belt buckle. Like, give her a 4 belt buckle.
Right. I got her taking the place of Ben. She's, adds even more power to the team than Ben does. She's got the personality that she's a fighter. She doesn't take anybody's shit. And, like we've said when you put her up before, the interactions with Johnny would just be absolutely hysterical. Because
They'd
you
be
know that she would
comical.
she would just shoot him down
Oh,
and
yeah.
he would just follow
Left
her around
and
like
right.
a dog.
Oh, yeah. He would follow her around like a puppy.
Dude, I liked seeing her shoot down Punisher in the in the Superman Spider-Man. That was great.
All right.
It would be funny seeing her shoot Johnny down. Or
It would.
just-
It would be
or
worth
just be-
reading the comic just for that.
or she
That
would,
interaction.
knowing her, she would be so overly aggressive just to make him uncomfortable.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he would leave her alone.
She'd be like making yeah. Absolutely.
He'd be like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go. Cyborg is Reed's replacement is not a bad pick either.
No, that's not a bad choice at all.
All right, well, we're going now to Sal's number 6 pick, who is another villain that is picked to join the team.
Oh yeah.
So it was Sandman.
Sandman.
Also replacing the Thing,
Yeah.
So, but I think, they gave him sort of a redemption arc, which wasn't bad because he's not really a psycho crazed villain. He's always been the type that's always the wrong guy at the wrong place type of thing.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. So he's got that blue collar vibe, which I think kind of matches
big dummy doing big dumb things.
Yeah, and he was on the Avengers because everybody was on the Avengers. Well, adjacent, you might say, or reserve. I think he was
reserve. Yeah, he was part of the Silver Sable's Wild Pack.
Yep, Silver Sable's Wild Pack too. So, I gotta dig his power set. His power set.
Yeah, he's got a pretty cool power set.
Yeah,
that's a really interesting choice.
Yep,
I like to team him up with Sand from the JSA.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
That could be interesting.
All right, and now we are on.
He's a geomorph.
And now we are on to number 5. So, Liz, with your number 5 pick.
I went with one of my favorite Marvel characters, Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, and she would be replacing Sue Storm in this instance, because she can do the magic in a lot of her chaos magic can do what Sue's protective bubbles and stuff can do. Although I think that in some ways she could replace either Sue or Johnny, right? Like you could go either way with it.
Well, like you said, who can't replace Johnny?
that
can opener can replace
making my point exactly. But I do think that she would make an interesting dynamic on the team because she's not really like other people that they have worked with or teamed up with.
True.
She's very independent. She's very act first, think later. And so I think it would be really interesting to see how the other team worked with that and counteracted that. I think they would be a really good balance for her in that regard, in that, kind of temper that act first, think later, and really get her to think first and act second, which, sometimes Wanda isn't very good at.
You've got the whole mutant aspect.
Exactly.
That would just add to the team dynamics.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, although, is she a mutant? Because there's like some argument between.
Well, not anymore. But
not anymore.
No, is it now canon that she's mutant and not just
the one that wore that costume was a mutant?
Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, I
don't know what they're doing with her now.
I think the team would be really interesting with her on it.
Oh, that'd be cool, Booze.
What'd they change her into?
Oh, I like that. Why did they change what? They changed her costume in the Robinson run.
No, I mean,
they changed her and Quicksilver where they're not Magneto's kids and they're not mutants before.
That was all during House of M, correct?
No, they did it after that. It had nothing to do with the comics. It's because Fox had the X-Men and all the mutant characters, and Marvel.
They wanted to put Quicksilver in
it's because Marvel was being petty little bitches, and they. Oh, looks like we got someone joining us.
Huh?
What's up?
Hey.
What's up?
Listen,
Uncle Gary.
I'm doing very important work here, monitoring the draft. But
have you been up drinking all night?
I have not been drinking all night. But when people see your list of your fantastic,
I couldn't remember what I was supposed to say, but I did tell him how horrible it was.
It's fantastic farts is what the list is. One of them's such a fart that he's coming out of the other's ass. So there you go.
He's hiding behind his big ass.
He's coming out of that ass.
Woozy Wink's ass is bulletproof. Woozy Wings has keistered all of Plastic Man. So I mean, that's nothing.
Wow. Well, let me tell you something. That is just terrible. Chris is fantastic parts there. So just understand that Chris served his country, and we have to give him a break and give him a little bit of leeway. But damn, that's asking an awful lot when he gives you a list like that.
Hey,
but
are you saying I'm Dane Bramage?
The only bad one that's been on his list. We have to give him that.
Well, I'm sure. I'm monitoring other
anyway.
things. Oh, Ravens pick is in. You want me to tell you, Dan, or are you watching?
No, I'm not watching. I'll see it later. I don't care. I don't know any of these college players.
Listen, the Rams picked Ty Simpson, a quarterback. They
I did see they took a quarterback.
So anyway, I'm really thrilled. The Commanders picked Sonny Styles, the linebacker out of Ohio State. I didn't think he'd last that long. I'm thrilled with this, but I got to give some Codex props to somebody on our staff, on our team, that's very sneaky funny, and that is Sonny Kruger texted me and said, "I'm still your favorite Sonny." So that was pretty good. And then I had to text him back, "I've got some bad news for you." Not my favorite Sonny anymore. So
I don't know, man. Going up against Sonny Jurgensen too.
I know. So this is
that's an ask for
he's
a
deluded.
Commanders fan, right?
Sonny passed. Sonny just passed away,
yeah, he did.
and now we've got a new Sonny that will be in our hearts and minds. So anyway,
do you think he called into a morning sports show?
Listen. After what you've done, after your heinous anus crimes that you did by putting Percival Pop out of Woozy's ass, I figured I would come in here and just refute that just for 1 second.
He's hiding,
and then he's hiding. The fact that he can hide in that ass is pretty scary. But
he's hiding behind it.
Liz, that's a pretty big ass.
Yes, it is, Liz. It's a pretty big ass, and it's a pretty big ask. But Liz, thanks for being here. Thanks.
You got to see Woozy twerk. It's amazing.
Oh my God, that's earthquake stuff right there. So anyway, Liz, thanks for being in there. Thanks for filling in and having to deal with that knucklehead right there.
Liz is awesome.
Liz is the best, and I can't wait to be on a show where I can be with her. Thanks for the indulgence. Back to the draft now. I'm monitoring this important stuff. So anyway,
you're the best.
Carry on.
Love you, Gary.
Even Chris. Chris, I'm going to forgive you that, but
Thank you.
But and I did create that team. I dared you to do it. I dared you to do it, and damn if you didn't do it, you son of a bitch. All right. See y'all later. Have a great day.
Take care.
Love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too.
All right. So back to it. And it's funny that
my
you
brother
say
from
that,
another
I gotta
mother.
look at my list again.
that Ben is replaceable because just a big rock with legs. Speaking of Chris's number 5 pick.
A big rock with legs.
Oh wow.
Blocked from a Legion. Just wanted to give the Legion a little shout out. And if it were a shared universe, they absolutely would have run into the Legion time traveling at one point.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And
kind of looks like the Thing.
Yeah, he would be a great addition. And let's say he's trapped in the past and he has to join the team to get back into the future. But and Ben's got a cold. But but yeah, I think he would be an excellent addition. Plus, his uniform's pretty cool.
Yeah, like the blue and the yellow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's already
ready to go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Put a little 4 right there in the middle of that blue there on his tummy.
All right, so for Big Rocks with Legs Unite.
Nice one.
All right, so for my number 5 pick,
smoothie.
I'm going to be dropping Johnny off the team and replacing him with my boy Booster Gold.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hells yeah.
You think Johnny can be immature and, more interested in being famous than a superhero. You put Booster on there. But Booster's been through some shit, too.
Yeah.
Oh, especially since the KO stuff.
Yeah. Booster's been through it, too. So, he can get serious. He can get serious when he needs to. But, imagine putting up with the same kind of antics that Johnny does when it's somebody that you're not related to and you don't, have to still be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I love
You'll just fire him.
Yeah.
This is Bad Rock.
Oh, Bad Rock. Let's put Bad Rock on there too. Let's just have 4 rock dudes. Let's find another rock.
And take them down to Bedrock, Twitch.
You know what's really nice about the addition of Booster Gold on the team is he's had a look at the inner workings of how time works.
Yes.
So I think he and Reed would have some interesting conversations. In a lot
Well, that was the other thing I was thinking too, was he would be on there, and since he's from the future and familiar with all this future tech, he would look at all the stuff Reed has, which is well advanced for everything, more advanced than everything else in the world. And Booster would look at it like, yeah, this is, would know how to work it. And Reed would be like, oh my God, this? And be like, yeah, this is like a toaster oven to us in the future.
Yeah.
The kid's toy in the future.
Yeah.
And not to mention the philosophical and scientific conversation that he can have with him, because he was one of the linear men, wasn't he? One of the time hunters or time guardians.
I don't think he was officially a linear man, but yeah, he was a time guardian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where it was him and Rip and his sister and his ancestor in the supernova suit.
Supernova, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we are on to Sal's number 5 pick, also from the DC universe.
All right, we got Wally West,
Oh,
and I got him replacing Johnny Storm as well.
Oh,
because I think
Johnny
Wally
is
West
a plug and
He
play.
fire all the time too, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, he's more jokey than Barry. I almost chose Barry Allen, but Barry Allen was a little bit more serious, where he's a little bit more jokey or jokester.
Yeah, little cockier. Wally's a little cockier.
So that's why I got him replacing Johnny.
well, and he, his superpowered kids could run around and play with Reed and Sue's superpowered kids.
There you go.
Exactly. And that's a great image. I love the red hair. That's just a slight tint different from the red suit, so it stands out.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very true.
And yeah, they, like Dan said, they can play with Reed and Sue's superpowered kids until Franklin gets mad and just erases them from existence.
Shuttles them off to a pocket universe.
Yeah. I didn't kill them per se. They're just in this pocket
He
universe.
just wishes them out to the cornfield. Like,
There you go.
So,
I remember that
That's
Twilight
in
Zone
the
episode.
Smallville. So they're still around. They're just in the wrong universe.
Yeah.
All right, so we're hitting number 4 with Liz's number 4 pick.
And she's already made an appearance. I
My
really
girlfriend.
think Dan said it all and said it well. I do want to. I don't know if this is a real cover or not. If it is, it's amazing.
it is.
It is. Yeah, I think so.
I love her in the looks like a little gym outfit.
Yeah.
That is cool.
She would be replacing Ben, and which she's already done, and she did it very well.
Oh yeah.
I actually when we were all at that Shaw Productions Comic-Con in Frederick, when I was standing there and Dan and I were both looking through boxes next to each other, and he gave me a pretty good lesson about how well she did on the Fantastic Four, and told me that I should really seek out the issues and read them.
Oh yeah. She was a fan favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
she was a fan
I
favorite when they put her on there.
and actually, she was the very first person that I listed on my list, and that's because Dan had told me that she had replaced Ben. And I thought, well, if Marvel says that she is supposed to be on the team, who am I to argue with the powers to be at Marvel?
Yeah, that was after Secret Wars, when Ben decided to stay on Battle World, and they needed someone to take his place, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you come in?" This is not a real cover, though. It's a
Oh, it's not.
no, it's a 265 is the issue when she joined the team.
Okay.
But this isn't the cover from it. This looking at the signature, I think it's by Shane Davis.
Yeah.
So
Like a homage.
So it's either a variant or it's a sketch that he did.
No, this isn't what the cover to 265 was at all.
Okay.
The cover to 265 was like the perspective of like you see the back of her head like she's walking in the door, and then you see Johnny and Sue and Reed standing there kind of looking like, and it's saying, the new member of the Fantastic Four. So I think this was just Shane Davis saying, hey, this would have been, and he's right, this would have been a cool introduction.
That would have been an awesome cover.
It would have been a great cover. I love the rendition of her. The way
and it looks like
got that smile on her face, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
It's got the perfect trade dress, and it looked like
exactly.
All right, so for Chris's number 4 pick, we have a duo.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Barda and Miracle. Their love is a legendary love, like Sue's and Ralph's, and Sue's and Reed's. And I just would love. I'd love to see the adventure. Yeah, Sue and Namor. I just would love. I love how they accentuate the height difference here.
Yeah,
I like how they have them chained together at the wrist.
I love both those aspects, and
their hands are making a heart.
The coloring on some of these, it's like I keep looking at things because I've learned so much about shadow and shading and everything, and seeing how they do that's really, really cool.
Now, I did see another one that was very childish art, like cartoony art, like a Chris Giarrusso style, where she's hugging him from behind and won't let him go, and she's like, "Escape this!" Great.
Now, what Chris is not telling you is they are replacing Reed and Sue, but Barda is replacing Reed and Scott is replacing Sue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it would be an interesting, mini
They
story
could
arc.
also, I mean, realistically, they could also replace Ben and Johnny, and then have two married couples, right? And that would be a really interesting, two couples. That would be a really interesting dynamic too.
Yeah, and they could have date nights.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Where they run into villains like they always do on date nights.
We do, Smoothie, as a short woman who most of her partners in all of her life have been over 6 feet tall, and I'm only 4'9". We need more. Show us the height differences, because
you just got to be like
real, man.
She's looking for a short.
All of us short people go towards tall people so that our kids won't be short.
You just got to be like Barney in that episode of the Andy Griffith Show where he was like had himself in the kind of chin harness and was putting weights on his feet and hanging himself in the closet so he could try and stretch himself taller.
Oh yeah.
All right, so for my number 4 pick, a character we've already seen, but I got one. I got the Scarlet Witch replacement too.
That's a great image.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good one. I think it would be cool to have her on the team because, as I said before, the Fantastic Four is really known, or at least for me, I associate them with science fiction, with adventurers going to other dimensions, into space, and all kind of stuff like that. And then Wanda is very much about magic and mysticism. So I think that would be an interesting new dynamic to add to the team, where it's all this science stuff and all these science adventures, and then here's this mystic character. And especially whenever they would go up against Doctor Doom, who has all the magic and sorcery that he uses, and now they have a character that can actually
that could answer
with him in that. Yeah,
I forgot to make that point when she was on my list, and that's an excellent point. That's my son and his wife. She's almost 6'1", and my son's 5'10". But I'm 4'9", and my daughter is 5'8", and my son is 5'10". So I did something right.
All right. So for Sal, we got your number 4 pick, going back to another former member of the team.
Oh yeah,
good old Ant-Man, Scott Lang.
I love Ant-Man.
Yeah, yep. And he's got the intelligence that I got him replacing Reed. So I would have him with the because his intelligence is pretty up there with almost comparable. Not probably on the same level, but damn close.
Scott Lang.
Yeah. So
the
I think he's
Scott Lang, not the
maybe Hank Pym, but I think Scott Lang was wasn't he just a lab tech or a thief?
That's the movie person.
The
part,
movie
right?
version, he's a thief. Isn't he? He's pretty smart in the comics.
Yeah.
He was part of Prim Technologies. I want to say, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Scott was really close to making my list too. He was one of the last ones that I dropped off to get to my final 10 because I dug the series when he was part of the team. It wasn't very long, but
he was a reformed thief and electronics expert in the comics,
and he was the leader of the team that he was on too. So that's a character that I really love. So that's an awesome pick.
Yep. Thanks.
All right.
He's a great character. I love him.
Yeah. All right. So we are on to the top 3 now. So for Liz, for your number 3
is Wonder Woman, and she is replacing Johnny Storm.
That's
and you can laugh, but you can and you would think, oh, wouldn't she replace Ben because he's so strong? But I really think that she would be a great addition along with, because her strength lies, yes, she's strong, she's goddess strong, but her strengths as a team member and as a hero lie in much more than her strength. And I think she would bring a very interesting dynamic to the team. I think she'd work really well with Sue. And think about it, Sue wouldn't have to worry about making the plane invisible because she already has an invisible plane. I think that she's intelligent enough that she would work well with Reed. I think that given how she banters with Batman and Superman, that she would banter well with Ben.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why. And she brings that goddess energy, deity energy to the team that they don't have.
Hawkman was one of my picks. It was Hawkman and Hawkwoman. And think about it. She could use that magic lasso of truth on Reed and Sue during couples counseling.
Exactly. Or when Reed doesn't come out of the lab and blows off Sue for date night.
Yeah. All right. That's a really cool pick. All right. So Chris,
plus the again, the magical supernatural aspect.
Yes.
Would be a neat bump against Reed.
Yeah. All right. So Chris, for your number 3 pick, we got.
There we go. Of course, we're replacing Johnny. Because everybody replaces Johnny.
But
how much do you want to bet Johnny ends up our most replaced?
Probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Young hothead, obviously. He's not much different than Johnny. I'm sure Johnny's much more skilled with a monkey wrench and in the garage than our boy Firestorm here. But I think he'd make an interesting addition to the team.
Well, and you got Professor Stein that's part of it too, so him and Reed can hang out outside of it. And the way they did it at one point in the comic where, Ronnie didn't have to merge with Stein to be Firestorm. He could merge with anybody. So you could even have it out in the field where they have to go out and Stein's not around, and he, how interesting would it be for him to merge with Reed or Sue or Ben or hell, if he merges with Johnny.
Yeah.
Merging with Ben would be interesting to see.
Yeah. No, that's a really cool pick, and I'm mad at myself for not thinking of it.
It is a really good pick.
Thank you. I love that character.
Johnny can make clones. Yeah,
Good.
fired
I
close.
mean,
I don't think he's done that for a while.
you make a valid argument. I'm not going to say you don't make a valid argument.
All right, so for my number 3 pick, I have got taking the place of Reed, another smart guy, Mr.
Wow.
Terrific.
Mr.
Yeah.
Terrific. That,
I just,
I
again,
can totally see that.
in
Yeah.
power wise, he's not there with Reed, but intelligence wise, he's right there with him.
Absolutely. And he's got his own power set. So just because he couldn't, make his body, be like elongated, man, he still would bring a lot to the team. Boosh,
Yeah, Boosh.
that's a good pick.
Well, that's the thing. His quote unquote power, if you want to call it, is his intelligence because he doesn't have any superpowers.
No, he has one.
What? Well,
he can't be recorded.
Yeah, I was going to say that's right. He did. Has the invisible technology thing.
That's his only power.
Yeah, but yeah, the peak athleticism, all that stuff. He's got the T-spheres and the intelligence, and I think he would be a fantastic pick. No pun intended. And DC already had their kind of pastiche Fantastic Four for a little while with the Terrific that he was on with him. Plastic Man, Metamorpho, and Phantom Girl, and that was a really cool series. And FDC for not only for canceling it, but making the last 2 issues digital only. And the only time they put them in print was you had to buy the trade paperback of the final issues. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. So F you. Not that I'm bitter or anything about it.
Not at all. Not at all.
So that is my number 3, and then
I'm pretty sure that Reed wouldn't see Firestorm as a replacement for Sue.
No, probably not.
And then interesting because Sal's number 3 pick.
There you go. Great minds.
Great minds think alike.
That's right. And
I love that
on that
character.
I don't have anything to add to that one.
It was nice to see him in the Superman movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How great would it be if they're fighting and Dr. Doom says something to him and something snarky to him about I'm going to beat you. He's like, you're going to beat me? I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific. And then he shoots a T-sphere at him.
Yeah.
You know what? D-Man is a joke, but I got a fondness for my man Dennis.
I do too. Even though he's stinky.
Yeah. All right, so we're hitting the top 2 now. So
top two
for her number 2 pick
is Batman, replacing Reed because he's got the technology, the brain, the world's greatest detective. I mean, he's not the genius scientist that Reed is, but I think he would be a phenomenal leader. Well, I mean, he's all right. We know he's a good leader. Look at everything he's done with the Bat family. But I do think that his dynamic and the way he operates would blend really well with Ben and Sue and Johnny. Although I would think honestly on an ideal team, I'd probably take Batman, Scarlet Witch, Sue, and Power Girl would be like my ultimate Fantastic Four, right?
Oh yeah.
But no, I do think that Batman is an adequate replacement for Reed. I think that he could lead the team well. He has experience in space. Fighting and
plus they
had experience in other dimensions and pocket dimensions, and all of his gadgets. Plus, he's just as rich, so they don't really lose anything, right? Because he can fund whatever research, and heck, he can then hire Reed to be their scientist.
I was going to say he doesn't have to be as smart as Reed. You can just hire some other scientists.
Exactly. So
you could just hire my next guy.
2. Yeah, that's why.
Nice. And as a little bit of self-serving, since Liz picked Batman, this is a drawing I did a couple months ago before we even were even thinking about this. Where I was like, hey, here's Batman if he was part of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and I like the work that you did on
that's awesome.
The inking of the suit. I like the darker blue.
Yeah, so this is
blue.
This is one where I just kind of imagine
I'm Four-Man.
Yeah, where I imagine Bruce is part of the Fantastic Four. So, and then I gave that to a friend, Obed, who works at the shop me and Sal go to, because he said two of his favorite characters were Batman and the Fantastic Four. And I got me when we were talking about our favorite characters one day, and I was like, what if Batman was on the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
All right,
he wouldn't have batarangs. He'd have foreskins.
So for Chris's number 2.
There we go. Bruce Banner taking the place of Reed, of course.
Yeah.
I just think he's so unstable. It would be fun to see what would happen.
Well, I mean, they'd spend all the time with him and Ben fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'd get nothing done. But
Thing smash. Hulk smash. No. Clobbering time. No, Hulk smash.
Well, it depends on which Hulk. Are we getting the Monster Hulk? Are we getting Smart Professor Hulk? Are we getting Mr. Fix-It?
I'd say we're getting Professor Hulk.
Okay. Mr.
Hulk.
Fix-It would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be funny.
That would be funny.
I mean, it's hard to go wrong with Batman and Fantastic Four, right? Like they're two cornerstones.
Right.
Yeah,
that was kind of where I was at with that. I was like, you really can't go wrong with it.
I like that image too.
Yeah,
that's a really cool image.
That's a really cool painting.
You really get the feel of the scale of the change from Bruce Banner
a monster.
to the Hulk.
It's got to be painful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got to be, especially popping out of them shoes, them patent leathers.
Goes through more shoes than everybody else.
Shoes and pants and I mean, can you imagine what his wardrobe bill looks like?
Where's he find purple pants all the time? Is what I want.
And he's always one inconvenient rip away from his book being NC-17.
Right. Yes.
All right, so we're going to my number 2 pick, and this character will be taking the place of Ben, and that is Namor the Submariner.
Oh, that's going to be a problem.
Can you imagine the drama between him and Reed and Sue?
You talk about a soap opera, my God.
That's why I had him taking the place of Ben instead of Reed, even though Namor's kind of a natural leader. But power-wise, he more than covers the power that strength-wise that Ben has, plus the other powers, and then the whole dynamic of him and Sue, and then I wanted him to take Ben's place and not Reed, because then Reed would still be there, so there'd be all that tension with them,
all that triangle juiciness drama,
and then with Johnny there as well, Johnny being Sue's brother and kind of protective of it, you would have that animosity, and then the whole fire and water thing too, and and then whenever Reed's trying to lead the team and Namor thinks he could do a better job because of his arrogance, I think and his long history with the team, I think it would just be some really super interesting stories of
it really would be
absolutely
with that family unit.
Absolutely.
That look of anguish on his face is just after the thing that was making
fun of his little ankle
wings and his pointy ears. He's so mad.
He's in anguish because look at how weird his calves are shaped.
They hurt. They're about to blow up.
It's like that is the weirdest angle I've seen on a leg.
Those are mutant calves.
Okay, right. Well, that's how he got the wings, right?
Yeah.
And then we are on to Sal's number 2 pick.
All right.
He had to get an X-Men in there somewhere.
Yeah, I love that costume. I have always loved that costume.
Yeah, that's
same here.
Costume.
It's great.
What can you say about a good Phoenix powerhouse right there?
Yeah.
But she also brings a good family dynamics.
Who's she plugging in as?
You know what? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I thought about
Johnny?
this. I'll have her replace Johnny because he's replaceable.
Because
Because
everybody
Totally
replace
replaceable.
Johnny because Sue's alluded to this in our previous picks. Her and Sue would actually be a good female bonding
I
type
agree.
of experience.
and that
And-
team absolutely needs another female on it.
She
Right.
does. She
Right.
really does.
right.
And I think she'd work really well with Jean. I think the dynamic there would be great. I think
Oh, that's a good pick,
Jean,
Boosh.
her telepathy would bring a lot to
Right.
to the team,
Right.
and especially on missions.
Yep. Yep.
And her kinesis would do nothing but benefit. Imagine what she and Sue could do together.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
When the X-Men go out of these big missions or these big events, she has psychically linked team players together, so they coordinate better in the field. So she would only do this with the Fantastic Four, would only make them a little bit better.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And don't forget that when they brought Jean back, the first issue of that storyline was Fantastic Four.
Right.
where they found
Number
her in, where
3
they found
something,
her
right?
in
Yeah.
Right. They found her in the cocoon, right?
they found the cocoon at the bottom of it wasn't the Hudson, it was
Did Bashuma do that art
I want to say, oh, god damn it! Now I gotta look it
in
up.
that book?
I've got the issue. I
Is
can't
that in
remember.
X Factor, or is that in? Was that in X Factor #1, or was that in?
No.
No, they brought her.
X-Men book?
They brought her back in. Claremont didn't want to do it in X-Men because he didn't like the idea of them bringing her back initially. So they did it in, but Byrne wanted to, and Byrne was doing Fantastic Four, so they brought her back in that,
Oh, cool.
and then they ended up doing X Factor. And do you know when they originally pitched X Factor, they did it before they had decided to bring Jean back. So do you know who the character was going to be in place of her? So it was going to be Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, and Angel as the original ones. But since Jean wasn't in the picture, the fifth character in it was going to be Dazzler.
Oh, that would have been
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
And then
I've
when they
always
decided,
liked that character. Her power set is really cool.
yeah, and then when they decided that they were going to bring Jean back, they're like, all right, well, we're going to do that instead.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
what are you just online now, just reading the issue to find
Yes,
the name of-
yes. I'm trying to find the damn issue because I know I have it.
I know, like I said, I know it's not the Hudson. It's something Bay. I keep thinking Botany Bay, but it's not Botany Bay.
Delaware
Bay.
Bay?
Botany Bay is Star
Bay is-
Trek 2.
No, Botany Bay is
Botany Bay?
Botany Bay is the old prison colony that they used to send.
There we go. Issue 286. And let's see, where was she found?
What's
Where
the
was she
bay?
found? I don't know yet. I'm still searching that. It's 286.
Why don't you just Google it?
That's
Instead
why
of
I had to find the issue. That's what I'm doing.
Spider Jerusalem with Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh my gosh, that would be a conversation. Not sure you'd understand it all.
All right, everybody, let's sit here in total silence while Sal looks this
Oh,
up.
shut up and just keep going, all right?
Dead air just killed
Hey,
the show.
we're at number 1 now, right?
All right, so we are number 1. So for Liz, for a quick recap, from 10 to 1, we got number 10,
Aquaman.
number 9,
Rogue.
number
Jamaica
8,
Bay. That's it.
House
Jamaica Bay.
Girl.
Jamaica Bay,
Jamaica Bay.
Jamaica Bay. Okay.
Number 7.
Witchblade.
6,
Black
Isn't that a
Canary.
rum?
That was
Alright.
killing me.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
4,
Hulk. She-Hulk.
3,
Wonder Woman.
2, and
Batman.
her number 1
And
pick,
1 is
Fantastic Four.
Oh, Black Cat.
Now, this
I
is
knew you
actually
were
a cover from
you were
the
gonna slip her in.
recent, recent
I'd like to slip it in.
Fantastic Four and Black Cat issue, which was wonderful.
That's awesome.
And Sue needed her help, and so they kind of bartered some, because Felicia was in some trouble and needed Sue to help get her out of it. It was a great issue. She would replace Johnny. And she would really give. So I loved the dynamic between Sue and Felicia in this 2 issue. It ran in Black Cat and in the Fantastic Four that same month. I not remembering the number, but it was so wonderful because at first Sue was like, why are you calling me bitch? You're a thief and I don't want to have anything to do with you, and why would I help you? They really had this kind of like adversarial dynamic, but yet the more time they spent together, they started realizing how much they have in common, and by the end, she and Mary Jane and Felicia, and I want to say it was Jen. Wasn't in her She-Hulk form, but it was Jen. They're all like going out on a girls' night, and Reed and Johnny are like, what, with Felicia, and she's like, yep, see y'all later.
Mel went out and talked about
I do think
Facebook and ponies and glitter.
Stickers.
The other thing that I think she brings to the table, not just her skills as a thief, which bring its own specific skill set, right? Felicia has her own unique luck probability power, right?
Usually doesn't work.
Bring bad luck or good luck to the people around her, and I think that would be an amazing dynamic to see work on a team level all the time.
They need to team her up with Longshot and see how that'll happen.
Such a cool power set.
Exactly, it is cool, but I do love that they play it. They don't really, in some ways, all comic book characters are Stans and Mary Sue's, right? Because that's the nature of the game. But they really, with this power in particularly, Felicia doesn't have any control over it, right? And I love that aspect of it. She knows it's there. She can draw on it, but she really doesn't ever really know whether it's going to be good luck or bad luck.
Yeah. It's like
right, and she's hoping that it's going to be good luck for her and bad luck for somebody else. But a lot of times it ends up being, it ends up kicking her in the butt.
That's a great
right.
Yeah. Can you bring that back up, Sal?
What's that?
Can you bring that back up?
Oh, that was Dan. Well, Dan.
Or Dan, I'm sorry. Can you bring that back? I apologize.
Yeah, they should.
I love that she's got Herbie there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She's just stealing Herbie.
This came out when the movie was coming out last.
That's awesome. I really dug that film.
They should team her up with Longshot and with Domino.
I was going to say,
that would be really interesting.
I'd
also like to see her teamed up with Gambit.
Yeah.
I think that could be really interesting as well.
So I read on another comic page where someone asked the question, if Domino faced off with Black Cat, would they just negate their powers? So it would just be a standard girl fight.
It might. That could actually
powers
see
just
that
negate,
happening. Or just completely amplifying to almost a catastrophe way.
Level, yeah.
Like, oh my God, wouldn't it be hilarious if they were like walking through some like small town casino or driving past a small town casino and like all the slot machines start ding 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 ding,
start going off. That would be classic.
Everyone wins all that money, but
everyone wins all that money, and then they do something, and then something else. Yeah, I just think that would be hilarious. But I do think that to a degree, it would more than likely cancel each other out. But you never know. There's potential to have it explode exponentially.
Yeah.
All right. So for Chris, we'll start at your number 10 with the worst goddamn superhero team that would ever
exist.
Ever.
There they are. True Fantastic Four.
9, 8,
Man Thing.
7,
Blue Blazes.
6,
UFOs.
5,
Block,
4,
Barda and Mr.
3,
Miracle, Firestorm,
2,
Bruce Banner,
and number 1.
Blue and Gold.
Oh, nice.
Replacing Sue and Reed. And there you go with a team that gets nothing done.
But has a
spends whole
hell of
bunch
a good
money.
time doing it.
This team will operate like the current government. All they'll do is end up fixing problems that they caused.
You know, I think the dynamic
on
between
their faces there, they of utter terror.
the dynamic between the two of them and with Johnny would just easily fall in line with all of their schemes, and then Ben would just get so pissed off at them.
Yeah, you would.
Yes. Oh,
It would be great.
Ben would be the foil to everything.
Oh, absolutely. Poor Ben.
Or Ben. You're thinking that automatically. But could you imagine the bar night with those three, with Johnny and these two?
And they're all, let's face it, pigs.
Mm-hmm.
All three of them are pretty oinky. So yeah, it would be an interesting read to see him to go out and try to pick up girls.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick too, Booch.
Animal Man's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, we'll start at 10. We got 10.
There she is.
9, 8.
That was a great pick. I didn't think of the Hawk couple.
Thank you. 6.
Nice.
5.
Yeah.
4. 3. 2. And my number one pick, a character I've been saying for years I think would be interesting, and he is taking the place of Johnny, because that is Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Great replacement.
Love that image.
You have the exact same. I had to find an image of him that would clearly be distinct from Johnny.
Yeah.
So you got the exact same power set, except with Hammond, you get the fact that he's not human. He's a synthoid, android, whatever you want to call it. So you got a little more power there as far as durability, strength, that kind of stuff. You've got that he's, essentially immortal because he's not human. And, I think that would be an interesting dynamic. He's more serious. He's not the goober that Johnny is. He is known as a character that kind of questions his own place in the world and his own humanity. And with him being this, like I said, this android, synthoid, whatever they're calling him now, with Reed as being the scientist, it would be, interesting, to see the two of them talk, and, for Reed to be able to fix him or maybe upgrade him anytime he got damaged, and to just really take an interest in, his construction and all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little known fact about him is that he is still operating off the same Die-Hard battery that they got from Sears back in 1939. So that is a heck of a testament to Die-Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He makes the Energizer Bunny look
not
like
a sponsor, but we wouldn't mind having some sponsor money.
Yes, he makes the Energizer Bunny look like a little bitch. Unless the Energizer wants to sponsor us. Yeah, that's Captain America if he's on fire. And don't forget, Jim killed Hitler. It's in Marvel.
Yes,
it's
he did.
canon. That's it.
Yes, he did.
That is
an bunker.
Steve Rogers might have punched him, but this guy killed him.
That is an issue that I covet owning.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think that he would be, and he's also a character that Marvel doesn't do enough with, which is annoying considering he's one of their.
No, I think he'd make a great addition.
He was around in the West Coast Avengers, wasn't he?
He was. That John Byrne brought him back in West Coast Avengers, because remember, Vision's original origin was that they took Jim's body and then they messed around with it to make it look like Vision, give him the different powers and put Wonder Man's mind in it. And Byrne wanted to bring him back because Byrne, had this affinity for some of these older characters. So then he brought him back, and then he made the origin even more complicated so that he could find a way to bring Jim back. But that was when it was White Vision too, and it was that really cool scene of the two of them standing there shaking hands, and it's got that awesome cover where he's bursting out of the grave and just flying up in the air.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah, so that's my number one pick. And then to round it out, we got Sal with 10,
Ooh.
9, 8, 7,
Sweet Christmas.
6. Why don't you
There's
whistle
sand in
down?
my shoes.
5,
better in your
4,
shoes than in other places.
3, 2, and Sal's number one pick, another former member of the team.
Oh,
There we go.
I had
Peter
to have
Porker.
Spider-Man in
The web
there. I could
slinger.
not have him. So,
Good old Peter Porker.
he's not as smart as Reed, but he is still, a high science intellect,
Yeah.
And, but I would have him replace Johnny. So let's mark that as a replacement on Johnny.
Poor
because-
Johnny.
Oh, that's
poor
too
Johnny.
bad
John,
because
Johnny's getting no love tonight.
See, I would have him replace Reed because he's, like you said, he's smart too, but he's got that, that friendship, that relationship with Johnny that's always fun to see him.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I didn't think of that. But he's got the quips when he's fighting a opponent where he's, getting under the skin of the guy. So, joking.
Oh, they're very similar in personality, which is
Right.
why they teamed them up so early in Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Around the same age, same kind of personality. But yeah, like I said, if it was me, I would have him take the place of Reed. Or maybe not even Reed, maybe have him take the place of Ben because Spidey is one of,
Yeah,
super
he's
strong too.
Yeah,
strong.
He can
true.
help Reed. He can help Reed in the lab, and he can, pal around and hang
All right.
out with Johnny too. And
I'll change it. I'll have him replace Ben. Then.
yeah,
Mark him
replace
as a
Ben.
Ben replacement.
So he's probably about a third as strong as Ben.
And I was gonna say too for my pick of Jim Hammond replacing Johnny. Remember at one point they did give Johnny make his costume red and yellow, which kind of
Oh, they did.
mirrored what
Yeah.
what Hammond's costume was.
Yeah.
All right, so
We did
Oh.
it in under 2 hours.
We
yeah,
did it.
So those are our picks for who we would have for the Fantastic Four. And to just go over the stats one more time, it was, and not counting characters like Scarlet Witch, who was on there multiple times. It was 16 Marvel characters, 17 DC characters, 3 I just marked down as other characters, not from Marvel and DC. We had,
Yeah, that's true, Boosh.
I agree.
oh wow, yeah, that would
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Spectre would be cool.
Oh man.
be. We had 5 characters that were former members of the team that were picked, and then as far as which character got picked to be replaced, that will be replaced the most. Yes. Oh, I'll be jumping on doing something with that. All right. So we had Reed being replaced 10 times, Sue being replaced 8,
Mm.
Ben replaced 11 times, and Johnny replaced 11 times.
Ooh.
So a tie between Johnny and Ben.
So
Wow.
it's a tie between Johnny and Ben, with Reed only being 1 pick away. So we seem to all agree that the most integral member of the Fantastic Four is Sue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I will say
agree
that I
with that.
did not count the two that Chris picked, where he just replaced the entire team. I didn't count that towards these stats, so it's all the rest.
Yeah, and I think Sue is the most integral part of the team. She is, from what of
She's
a better
the heart
term,
of the team.
she's the mother figure. She takes
Yeah.
care of everybody else on the team.
Right.
Including the foundation. What is it? The
Future Foundation.
The Future Foundation. Those
Mhm.
kids,
Yeah.
all those kids. I mean, she's responsible for those kids.
Absolutely.
She's
All right.
without her,
Yeah.
that team falls apart.
I think it's interesting that you guys replaced Reed a lot more than I did. Like in my 10, I only replaced him once.
Well, I already kind of had an idea because I knew I knew which characters were being replaced on my team, and when Chris sent me his list, he said this character, and he told me who they were replacing. So it was really just just Sal and Liz here that I needed to mark theirs down as we went. Yeah, I mean, you throw a rock and you'll hit a character with super strength.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's very.
I mentioned that the Terrifics, which was a really fun series.
Couldn't the Marvel family too, technically, be considered similar to the Fantastic Four?
I don't think so, because they all have the same power, the origin where they get the powers from the it's all kind of mystical based.
It's all kind of good point.
Challengers of the Unknown.
Yeah, Fantastic Four was definitely lifted from Challengers of the Unknown, considering Jack Kirby created both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the members of Challengers was named Rocky.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
I get to mention my honorary team picks.
Yeah.
Your honorary team picks.
I put them in the I put it in the chat, but I did not make a card for it like Chris did.
Oh well, yeah, you can mention them.
So this is to replace the entire team. It's Jar Jar Binks, Howard the Duck, and who else I had? I had Doby Dickles in there. What was that? And who was that fourth character? Damn it!
It's so terrible he didn't even remember.
I know, because I didn't write it down. I was like, oh, you know what? This would be good.
Sal surprisingly did not pick Venom for his team.
I did not pick Venom at all.
That's kind of surprising, Sal.
Salvatore.
He's Venom's not a team player. He wouldn't fit with anybody.
You had Howard the Duck, Jar Jar, Doiby, and Heavy Flow.
Heavy Flow, that's right. Sonny's favorite F-lister.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for putting your picks
Thank you, Liz,
in the
for
chat.
stopping by.
In the chat.
It was great. People had some really good picks.
Yeah,
don't let Sal for you. He's got his Howard the Duck tramp stamp, and he is damn proud of it.
I like the What If, and him and Darcy had a baby. I thought that was great. Birdie.
I hated that. I hated the entire third season of What If.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was one of my favorite episodes.
I thought the entire third season was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
But we all have our own, but each other. Anyways, thank you for everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you for Liz. Make sure to check her channel out.
Thanks for having me.
Live
thank you for having me.
Yep,
Sunny is going to be on May 3rd, and then I'm going to be talking to you guys because we need to reschedule. Well, I've got to get Chris on for first time, but we need to reschedule you two.
Yep, live every Sunday night. Make sure to go check them out. Make sure to give them a follow too.
As for you don't want me on your show.
we will be back with Comics Unleashed Saturday night, and then next week there will be no podcast because it is both me and Sonny's birthday on Wednesday, so there will be no podcast that night. We're taking the night off, but we will be back Thursday night with our comic character of the week, which we'll be focusing on Hercules. And we will be having a special guest with us on that night as well. We will be having one of the members of the Avengers Forever podcast that will be joining us.
Oh, very cool.
Recently, Ken from that podcast will be joining us, and I recently was a guest on their show when they did an interview with Steve Orlando, where Liz gave me a bunch of questions to ask him. So he will be joining us on for that.
Yes.
That was amazing. I loved his answers to the questions.
That's awesome.
So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, he's wearing his Howard the Duck underwear.
You want to do the Hey Sal, you want to do the podcast this week, me and you?
I cannot make it this week.
Okay.
That week. All right.
Chris, you can do it by yourself. I'll send you a link and you can just go on.
I'll just go on, and then I'll go to the restroom, just like Sonny. And it'll just be an hour of dead air.
He'd be like this. Gotta go.
That's exactly what.
Yeah, but thank you, Mr. Keith. But the difference is Chris will set his computer right outside of the bathroom so that you can hear everything.
You can hear it.
You can hear all the good noises.
Thank you, Boosh. Just like
Thanks,
Kevin,
Boosh.
Kevin back in the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you all for joining us.
Good night,
We will talk
guys.
to you later.